Hello and welcome, inspired podcast community. This is your new episode. My name is Caroline, and my today's guest is Jiyoti Danota, and I hope I pronounced it right. Please help me.
Yes. Hi, my name is Jiyoti Dhanota, and I am a self-published author with 11 books already out.
Wow, this is amazing. You have to tell us more about this, of course. My first question: what inspires you?
So I started writing as a way of healing. So I guess my inspiration was healing. The Chaos Within Us is my debut novel, and the character Niti, she doesn't have the best relationship with her mom's youngest brother, and that's actually kind of based off my story. When my mom's youngest brother came from India to America in 2021, and how there was a clash of cultures, how we didn't see eye to eye, basically all that stuff. Just that aspect, the relationship that Niti has is kind of based on a true story. Other than that, all my works, including The Chaos Within Us, is fiction.
Oh, I love that you mentioned it and also part of your own story. So who inspires you?
Myself, I want to heal from my from like trauma and stuff. This is basically writing was my healing journey. And
Oh,
recently, I had a vertigo attack in November, so screen time and stuff kind of makes my head like almost twitch, I guess you could say. Um, so right now, I've had to put writing on pause, but I do have ideas for two more books. So book 12 and book 13, I have ideas for.
oh, this sounds so great. So tell
Mhm.
us more about the creative process. You said you are not writing at the moment, but you have ideas. And how do you put your ideas on paper or
Mhm.
on writing? Yes.
Yeah, so usually just whatever I'm doing out and about and I get ideas, I'll put it down in the notes in my phone, like the notes app, and then I'll usually take that and turn it into like, oh, like let me add this scene into this book and let me add this scene into this book. And I kind of say also like, what does Bookstagram and Book Talk like? What do they want to see in books? So
Mhm.
yeah.
Wow, I love that. You said you write fiction.
Yes.
Yes, and how is the story unfolded?
So usually I kind of have an idea of what I want to write. And you know how like in school they always teach us right beginning, middle, and end. But when
Mm.
you're writing a work of fiction, when you're writing a novel, you could write the ending first, and then you could write the beginning, and then you could write the middle, you could write the middle, beginning, end, you could write the beginning, end, middle. It doesn't matter. You have so much creative freedom.
Yeah, and then you put everything together.
Then you just put it together exactly. So I actually don't write on my computer. I write on my phone.
Mhm.
Because then
Wow.
it's easy for me to read, and then I'll send the documents to myself when I'm like, okay, this is ready, and then I'll turn it into a book instead of being like chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, because then I'm like, okay, what if we did this, and that could be the middle of the book, and then what if we did this, and that could be the beginning of the book. So then after I'm done, when I know it's done, like writing it on my phone in different notes, like on the app, then I'll be like, okay, it's ready to go.
Oh, and then you feel when it's ready.
Yes. And
Oh,
then I put it together, and then it goes to editor, and then it comes back. I do the editing, goes back to the editor, and then it's like ready to go.
oh, I love that. How does it feel when a book is ready?
Feels good, but it feels even better when you're holding it, when you like I went through Ingram Sparks for Whisked Away, but I would never go through Ingram again. It's just way too much more work and more expensive than KDP. I probably prefer to use KDP.
Mhm. Yeah, I see.
But I
Wow.
learned my lesson through one book.
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing. And how do you inspire other people?
So from what I've read, actually, in my debut novel on Goodreads, I noticed a lot of people like noticed that they could relate to a character, and that's what I love. Like being able to put books out in which other people can relate. My latest book, um, twice in a lifetime, a lot of people, a lot of women were able to relate to Maya, the main character, because she is married into um, a relationship where the guy is a mommy's boy. So she ends up divorcing him because she says, I don't want to be second in my marriage when
Yeah.
you keep putting your mom first. And a lot of women were just like, yes, I relate to this. And that's what I love writing. I love writing books that people can relate to.
Wow. I love that. Yes, and that is very inspiring also for me. Thank you so much. And please reach out to Jyoti, and we will put the links for the books in the show notes, of course. Yeah,
Yes.
this is important as well and interesting. But we are not finished here. So how do you make other people smile?
Well, that's a good question. I try to add some funny scenes into my books or something that, really, like I said, relatable. Um, I don't really show my face on my social media.
Mm,
But other than that, mostly it's just like adding a scene or like a dialogue or something that can make people laugh. Because usually when I'm crying, if I'm writing a scene, I know somebody else is gonna cry. If I'm laughing, I know somebody else is gonna laugh. So
Ah, you can anticipate the emotions of the reader.
yeah, yep, yep.
Oh, I love that so much. And you said you don't show your face so much on social media. Are you a secret writer?
No, I mean I actually write with my name, but
Yeah. Mhm.
um I don't know. I've never really shown my face on like even my personal Instagrams are private, you know.
Yeah. You are showing it now.
I know, which is crazy because I have a YouTube channel. I show it on YouTube, but I don't know. I don't know what it is about like Instagram and TikTok that I'm just like,
Mm.
nah.
Mhm. Okay, that is fine. And what do other people like about you?
Just characters. I guess I write characters that are relatable, and then I'm also like noticed a lot of Punjabi representation in books. So I actually started writing Punjabi main characters, and that's caught the attention of a lot of people.
Wow. Yes.
Representation, yeah, representation matters everywhere, you know. So,
Yeah. Wow, thank you so much. And what are your gifts and talents?
I would say writing. Mine
Mhm.
is like sometimes that I, like the editor doesn't catch something, and then people are like, "You need a better editor," and stuff like that. But uh, I don't know. I don't really. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm still trying to figure it out myself. Besides,
Yes.
that, yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I understand. And this was the intuition or the impulse to ask this question to my podcast guests because I didn't know it for myself. So I hope to get the answers of all of my guests,
Yeah.
putting it together, or how they evoke the answers within themselves, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. This is amazing. So what are your goals for 2024?
First and foremost, I need to focus on my health because of everything that's kind of going on. I went to this place called Stanton Optical, and they gave me the wrong prescription for my
Mhm.
glasses.
Mm.
So I gotta focus on like that, and then getting rechecked and all. I'm going to Target to get rechecked instead because that's way better than Stanton Optical. But so yeah, my health, and then
Mhm.
definitely try to get two more books out.
Yeah, this is amazing. Two books. This is more, more even one book is for many people. It's like unimaginable if
Yeah.
this this word exists, you know. Yeah. So amazing. One book in a lifetime, and you have 11 already, and then two more.
Yeah, I
You are
started writing in I started writing in May of 2022, and by the end of 2023 I had 12, and then January, well, I had 13 written already, but January 24, I think it's January 24 that I released Twice in a Lifetime.
wow. I love that very much.
I'm
Thank
gonna
you for sharing. Yes.
Yes, of course. I want to double check that I give you the correct information.
Mhm.
So, Yeah, January 10th, 2024, it was available on Amazon.
Okay. Yes. And if people reach out to you after listening to this
Mhm.
podcast episode, do you have special offers for the Inspired podcast community?
I usually have like specials on my books at random times. So you just have to be following me on Instagram, which is GEET is booked, same as my TikTok.
Mhm.
Um, and randomly, like I don't do like sales, like oh it's Black Friday or it's I just randomly go, oh, I want to put a sale today. So it's just like whatever, whenever I feel like doing it. Yeah.
Yes, this is great. Thank you so much. And do you have a message for our listeners?
Yeah, so one of my biggest things is if you want to write, just write. You don't need a background in English. You don't need a background in writing or something like that. I have a master's in communication studies. I have no background in English or writing or editing or any of that stuff, but it's nice. Writing is nice. It's your creative outlet, and you learn a lot even just by reading other people's work. You like learn that like, oh, maybe I want to write a mystery now instead of writing romance. Like I've read so much mystery and I want to write one. Or up to you, obviously what you want to write. But um, self-publishing does give you more freedom than going through a traditional publisher. So there's also that aspect. So just keep that in mind. That rejection is going to happen through publishing houses. Whereas if you want to put a book out, just put it out.
Wow, I love that you encourage all the listeners to write their own book, just to write, maybe not with the purpose to publish it at the end.
Yeah,
You just
yeah,
can write and then look what's how it
yeah.
looks like or how it turns out. Okay, so now I want to read to you a quote because it I came across this quote today and it fits to what you said before. And I want to hear your opinion about that. Okay,
Okay.
okay, this is nice. It is from there are card decks. You can
Mhm.
draw a card, and I draw a
Oh yeah.
card, and I have a quote from Michael A. Singer, by the way. How do you free yourself? In the deepest sense, you free yourself by finding yourself.
Yeah, so I actually think that that's kind of like, in a sense, like when you meditate and you're trying to connect to your intuition, your higher self, and stuff like that. I think that's kind of also what that quote is trying to say is like, take some time for yourself. When you're just you have that me time. That's when you're free, and that's when you're connecting with yourself, and you're like, okay, this is what I want to meditate on today. This is what I want to manifest, stuff like that.
So you connect to yourself, and then yeah, you find yourself. And how do you find yourself in the writing process?
How do I find myself in the writing process? I would say that it would be more like kind of having the characters' personalities be something that I can see a little piece and bits of like myself in or something. Like The
Oh,
Chaos Within Us is actually my debut novel. And the funny thing is, the last book that I have planned to write, which will be book 13, is actually going to be coming full circle. And if I write more, I write more. But right now, the plan is coming full circle, and that is going to be the sequel, kind of, to The Chaos Within Us in a trope of forbidden romance.
oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we will hear so much more from you, I'm sure. Wow, you have 13 books out. I can't believe. Thank you so much for this interview.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want
11
to add,
books.
what did you say?
11 books. You said 13, 11.
Oh, yeah, because you have 11 books out, but I was thinking
Oh,
already,
yeah, yeah,
wow,
yeah.
wow, it's already in the process, in the making, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. I started
Wow.
writing book 12, and then like I don't know. I My therapist said I'm like an overthinker and stuff too. So right now I just have to like get over overthinking everything and just be like just right, you know.
Yeah, just right in the flow and then yeah,
Mhm.
in the creativity.
Yeah.
Oh,
What I love about writing is once you start, ideas come to you left and right.
mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much for this interview. I'm so happy we did it. I
Thank you.
enjoyed it. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you
Same.
so much, and see you in the next episode.